going to make even bigger capacity cuts domestically, on top of what it already announced last week, and that it will make a further announcement in coming days. So last week, Virgin said that it would cut all international flights and reduce domestic flights by about half. So if it cuts even more, it could go down by 3/4 or almost down by 100%, depending on how things get. And Qantas hasn't put out an announcement yet, but it wouldn't be unreasonable to expect them to put a similar announcement out in similar days, since they're under similar pressures with more states requiring even interstate visitors to subject themselves to a 14-day isolation period, effectively a lockdown, banning travellers. Like, there'll be very little incentive to travel interstate even.
What about the flow-on effects for other industries?
Oh, they're going to be quite big as well. So oil and energy companies, Caltex in particular, put out a statement this morning estimating that jet fuel demand or even prices could fall by 90% because the airlines just have no need to buy any jet fuel at the moment. So Caltex is expecting to take a massive hit from that. Also, we had Webjet and Flight Centre, the physical and online travel agents, also experiencing negative flow-on effects. So both those companies, Webjet and Flight Centre, are in trading holds. So they've suspended their shares from trading because in the last few months, since January, their share prices have been absolutely punished. They've lost about 3/4 of their market value. And as basically every day, every trading day, it gets sold down even more. Webjet in particular is trying to raise more money to stay afloat to boost its cash reserves. And Flight Centre is going to, like Virgin, put out an announcement either today or in the upcoming days to update investors about the full extent of the economic damage from the coronavirus, which is quite significant.
Can you take us through the numbers now?
Yeah, sure thing. So when we take a look at the figures, the ASX 200 and All Ords, we're in the top movers slide. So, OK, there are big names that have suffered big falls. So Southern Cross Media, which you may know better for shows like My Kitchen Rules, it's lost 42% of its value since this morning. Buy Now, Pay Later fintech Afterpay has dropped by more than 30%. Premier Investments, which you may know better for Just Jeans and Peter Alexander, down by almost 1/4. BlueScope Steel down by a very lucky 13%. And the major banks like NAB have lost more than 12%. As I said before, only 5 out of 200 stocks are trading higher, and one of them is Newcrest Mining. Checking in on the Asia Pacific, Japan is doing reasonably well in the circumstances. It's up 0.5%. New Zealand is down by an even steeper 9%. And South Korea, which is not on the boards, has lost a massive 6% in early trade this morning. And looking back at US markets, Wall Street fell sharply on Friday. And in the last month, it's lost more than 30% of its value. So it's deep in a bear market territory. And when we look ahead on the US futures market, it looks like there will be massive falls again on the New York Stock Exchange when it reopens tomorrow. And for the first time, US trading the trading floor will be closed and all the trading will be done electronically, just like in the ASX here. Now, in commodities, gold is slightly lower as investors rush towards the US greenback, the ultimate safe haven asset. Oil prices have tumbled even further, suffering their worst week since the Gulf War in around 1991. So West Texas and Brent crude oil are both down by a very sharp 7%. And in currencies, the Australian dollar has fallen sharply below 57.1 US cents, its lowest level since 2003. And just finally, the ASX 200 and All Ords are down by about 8.5% now. And on that note, that's the latest in finance news. Kath?
Thank you, David. Well, there are